Hey everybody, Dan here, aka Moderately Anonymous MTG, coming to you with a first ever here on the channel. This is a cEDH live brew that we just did over on Twitch, but I figured I'd upload it over here in case anybody else wanted to see it. Today we're going to be taking a look at and building a 99 for a new Naya commander from new Capenna. This is Rocco Cabretti Caterer. This is a creature tutor on a stick, so there's a lot of different ways that we can go with this deck. I've heard people talking about different sorts of lines for it, but I had some initial ideas before I went into it, so you'll see me crack right into those, and let me know in the comments if you got any additional ideas. Let me see your deck list. You'll be able to find this deck list in the description right down below. And just quickly before we get into it, I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Hit up TCG Player and use my TCG Player affiliate link if you want to pick up any of the cards to build this deck or any other decks that you see here on the channel. And also go hit up our Patreon if you want to give some direct support to the channel. And just newly added, we are now part of the YouTube membership program. So if you want to become a member of this channel, sign up right here and you get some other awesome benefits similar to the Patreon benefits. So check that out. And I really appreciate everyone coming and hanging out with me today. So without further ado, let's hop into the live brew. This is the right overlay. What is up, everybody? It's me. It's Dan, Moderately Anonymous MTG. How's everyone doing this morning? Glad to see everybody up bright and early hanging out with me in the chat. Lonely Sandbar, Death Magic, Dark Saber, Moloch. What's up, everybody? Happy to see y'all here this morning. So I just can't stop thinking about this fucking stupid... I don't even remember what it is. I think it's an elf, actually. I think I actually, like, literally just noted before we went live that it's an elf. So I'm thinking about Priest of Titania immediately because I fucking love that card. So, yeah, we're here. We're brewing Rocco. I mean, first of all, though... we need to chat about this deck name because I am not a fan of the pithy deck name thing. I just like I build a deck and then I name the deck whatever it does and whatever colors it are or whatever colors it is, just because that's just how it makes sense to me. But everyone else in the cEDH community is a very big fan of the pithy names. So we had Rocco's Modern Life. I believe though that is the name of the Paco and Halden deck. So we can't use that one, unfortunately. But I'm willing to hear and listen to any and all suggestions for deck names. For the moment, though, we're just going to call it, I don't know. I'm just calling it Rocco so we can just start adding cards to it. Death Magic, what did you say? Lugubrious Docky cEDH. I can barely say lugubrious, so I don't know if that one's gonna make the cut. I don't even know what lugubrious means. I'd have to look that one up. Rock'em Sock'em, insert Wincon here. That could work too. I think the problem is that I'm not gonna like any of the pithy names a whole lot because I don't like the pithy name thing. I don't know. Let's get this deck to like coalesce a little bit though. I think before we start thinking about the name too hard, unless we just got a fucking like slam dunk we can't resist in the chat. Like I mean, keep them coming. We'll figure something out. So immediately what I was thinking of with Rocco here, Rocco, if you haven't read it yet, enters the battlefield, has X and Naya, Elf Druid. Enters the battlefield. If you cast it, you may search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So just straight onto the battlefield, creature tutor, in the command zone. The X cost we can help to pay for with Jeweled Lotus. I am 99.5% certain. Like, I think that has to be true. Alright, now Heathen MTG with Food Farm. Food Farm I like. I do like just slapping the name farm on anything, and especially now that it annoys G-Toast99. Cabaret of Combos. That's actually a good one too. All right, hold on. We're almost getting there. Call it what Zakama wanted to be, the deck. Just the deck. So with the things that we have access to in this deck that are really awesome are obviously like the Imperial Recruiter of the Guard. Just automatically, no matter what we're doing, those are going in. What I was thinking of off the back in terms of like main combos that we can be assembling here. Imperial Recruiter and Recruiter of the Guard is the other. So the main things that we can be assembling here are things like Dockside Extortionist and Teamer Sabertooth. To get infinite mana, we can keep bouncing the Rocco to get everything out of our deck. I think the natural thing in that scenario would be to try to like find Finale of Devastation. I'm not sure that there's any creature in Naya that we can get off of a Rocco ETB that would allow us to put a finale in our hand. There are certainly cards that will draw us cards. I was thinking about, like, we might go, like, there might be room in this deck for, like, a super weird top end, like I think Kogla might actually be a kind of smart move in this deck. It's going to be like a slower moving deck, so I think that like some light stacks that are like sort of relevant, like Drannith Magistrate and Aven Mind Sensor, and just like easy things like that are probably good ideas, and like something like Toski to help us like draw cards and grind a little bit. Rocco's Roadhouse. Rocco's Cabaret of creature combos. Moxfield allows you to add the whole Naya suite. I don't know what that is. I don't know how one does that, so if you can explain it to me, I'm all ears. There are so many things about Moxfield that I don't know. Yes, Seratar, I was also thinking about Goblin Engineer and assembling Cloudstone Curio combos. That's a very easy thing that we can do with these outside of the Temur Sabertooth combo. So the Goblin Engineer ETBs, we can search our library for an artifact card, put it into our graveyard, and then shuffle it. It's just an entomb for artifacts, so we can get a Cloudstone Curio, and it's a tap ability to be able to sack an artifact, return an artifact with CMC 3 or less from graveyard to battlefield. So there needs to be like some sort of haste effect. I think probably in like more than one instance that we would want. So I don't know if something like Lightning Greaves would be the move for enabling some of those things. If you click either the settings gear or the lightning bolt, it should be one of those options. Oh, add packages. Browse all packages. Just Naya. I've never used this function before. I had no idea. Is there one that's like specifically cEDH, or do I have to actually look at them? This is weird. I don't know if this is the right one, though. Rhythm or Concordant Crossroads or Mass Hysteria. Yeah, I was thinking, I don't know, like, Concordant Crossroads is kind of like so do-nothing-y that I don't particularly want to run that, and like kind of the same deal with the rest of those, honestly. And honestly, the same deal with the Lightning Greaves. I think it probably has to be a static effect, though, like the Concordant Crossroads or something, though, if it's going to benefit really a lot from the Cloudstone Curio. Although maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe we just only need to get Cloudstone Curio onto the battlefield. It might not took Rebel Fort. I don't even remember what Tuk Rebel Fort is, but I remember Tuk the little fella that gave you some sort of gigantic thing. Rebel Fort, creatures you control have haste. No, that costs 3 mana, Skylar. That's a 3 mana wall. There's no way we're playing Tuk Rebel Fort. I admire your spirit, though. So, I don't know anything about Naya cEDH. I, like, went to the DDB immediately and looked at the list, but, like, they're all Stax list, which is, like, I don't think is... We're gonna play some light stacks, I think, because of the fact that other decks are, like, gonna be going a lot harder than us. And I figured I'd bring some up to just, like, get a quick idea, maybe, of some things I might not have thought about. Like, Skyclave Apparition is actually a really sweet card. Village Bellringer is probably something I would have forgotten about, so those are good refreshers. But yeah, we're not going to have a lot of room to be a stack deck because we're going to need all of our... collector oof effects to not be around for the treasures, etc. What about Jenny Frey, Jetmere second? It's on the battlefield and you can start looping docks and you'll create infinite hasty cats. I don't know that one. That's one of these new ones. If you would create one or more tokens, you can create these with haste. Oh, that's interesting. It can be cast for all greens, so it is like a thing that we could tutor up and just make an infinite number of, well, if you create one or more, so you have to decide when you're making your Dockside Extortionist tokens. So I guess, I don't know, I guess you just have to make infinite mana first, and then you start looping again, but now you're enacting it to create the hasty tokens. Yeah, that could be something. That could be an outlet. The fact that you can cast it for all green mana too is actually pretty sweet. Eldritch Evolution for Collector Roof gets your Temur Sabertooth. Yeah, I don't think that we want to be on a Collector Roof, though. Like, I think I would be inclined to run something like maybe Manglehorn? Maybe Manglehorn, but I really don't like Manglehorn. But something like, what's the enchantment? Blind Obedience seems pretty sweet. So let's just start adding in some more shit here. Dockside, we're going to need... we're probably going to do this Temur Sabertooth thing. It seems like quite likely that that is a good combo to be going. I'm thinking... like, we can pod our commander into a Felidar Guardian to start off a pod line, so, like, I feel like maybe shoehorning easy pod line in here is, like, not hard to do, or, like, I don't know, you know, not a bad idea. It's Guardian, right? Alright, I always forget if it's Guardian or Sovereign. Deafening Silence could be a way to go. Temur and Emil. Oh, that's right. We have access to Emil. Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. So yeah, we can also get Dockside. Yeah, Emil is like a lot better than Sabertooth. Yeah, okay. So I think I would be willing to pretty much just auto-scrap Sabertooth. Yeah, because Emil is like significantly better. So we don't even need to be concerned with that. New Vivian Planeswalker. Yeah, if we had room more towards the end of the list, I would definitely be interested in adding it. It's the least... it is the least tutorable of any of those sorts of effects because it is not like something we can get with E-Tutor or something like that. So we kind of just have to happen across it. But it is a very good card. So if we had if we were looking for more consistency towards the end of the... Sabertooth better here because it returns Rocco to hand. Yeah, you're right. Okay, never mind. That is very correct. Emil, all-around better card. Sabertooth better here. It means we need to generate one more mana to go infinite with Dockside, but that's pretty marginal. Emil will just move to sideboard for now, because maybe we want to think about that later on. We could play both. I'm not super keen on playing both. I don't know. I mean, I guess it gives us that flexibility if we were making one less mana to be able to still go infinite on mana, but I don't know. If we can't, return the Rocco, what does infinite mana do for us a lot of the time? I don't know, it depends. So another thing that I was thinking about this, though, is alternate, lines that we can be going for. So once we do have our infinite mana with Dockside, Temur, Sabertooth, things that we can be going for. The Recruiter of the Guard can get us a Walking Ballista, which is one really tight and easy win con that we can go for. It does get locked out by Artifact 8, which is definitely not uncommon, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But there's also the White Changeling. What is it called? If anyone remembers the White Changeling that you can dump infinite mana into. I don't think that we're looking to go turbo. I think that we're looking to be not quite Blood Pod slow, but Mirror Entity. Thank you. That's what I'm thinking of. I think that we're looking to be mid-range-ish. I don't know that it behooves this deck to play a very hardcore suite of Stax. Because the most popular pieces of Stax are going to shut off the things that we want to do the most. Not necessarily Walking Ballista. I would be very... I would have no qualms about cutting that. But the Dockside Extortionist loop is a lot more important to the deck. So, I don't know, we automatically pretty much can't run Collector Oof unless we, specifically get Eldritch Evolution, which we will definitely run because that is just generically wonderful. But yeah, either Mirror Entity or Walking Ballista we can get if we can make infinite mana with Dockside, bounce the Rocco back to hand, we search up Recruiter of the Guard, and then that can go get either one of these. Or the Imperial Recruiter is another thing. So we also want Karmic Guide if we're thinking about this Kiki line. I saw someone suggest the Snoop Piles. I don't think that the Snoop Piles are necessary because I think the pieces are generally a lot worse than like Kiki Karmic, and even Felidar Guardian is like, it has a fair amount of effects that are quite useful in this deck. We could like, I could be convinced to run maybe like Village Bellringer, because that untaps our dorks, I guess. It doesn't. I was thinking of things that untap Gaia's Cradle, but I think that's like pretty much specifically the Derevi. So definitely do want some dorks though. The dorks I think will be beneficial to us overall. Get a Land Werewolves in there, Bird's Paradise. We don't have... There's that like 2 mana Gruul thing that adds Gruul colors, but there's no like Ignoble Hierarch for this color suite, I think, right? Village Bellringer and Great Oak Guardian. Yeah, those are other like alternate Kiki wins, but like I don't think that we need to like I don't think we need to add any redundancy on that. Bloom Tender, maybe not that good, but for our win cons, we're going to need to be able to generate a lot of mana. Like, going for Rocco to get Teamer Sabertooth and Dockside Extortionist, that's a total of 14 mana that we need to spend, so we do need to be able to make a ton of mana. Orcish Lumberjack. Okay, Orcish Lumberjack I'm definitely into. Magda is interesting. It can get the Cloudstone Curio, but I don't know. I think if we're making 5 treasures with Dockside Extortionist, like, we can probably be close to inherently winning with our commander anyway. Narcomancer cost reduces on all things you care about. Yeah, let's at least bring it up, because I don't remember exactly how it reads. I think just makes green and red spells cost 1 less. Green or red. So yeah, actually it will like shave a point off of our commander, which is really sweet. Yeah, I could see that being pretty valuable. Enchantment creature for 2 that's a Serra Sanctum on a body depending on our enchantment suite. Oh, the yeah, that thing. Yeah, it's definitely gonna depend on what the enchantment suite ends up looking like. I would imagine it's gonna be like fairly light, but that's definitely a possibility because that thing like does end up making a shitload of mana. Defense of the Heart. I think it's probably a little bit too situational because we want something that just wins automatically. Shalai is interesting. Shalai actually. That's another infinite mana outlet. I think Mirror Entity is maybe just the better version of that, though, because we can tutor up more easily. Well, no, I guess I don't know. It doesn't really make a difference, does it? Yeah, Yeah, if we had infinite mana, and we can just go and get the Shalai over that, I think Shalai probably is just a better, like, individual piece than Mirror Entity. Thinking about, like, pod considerations, like, we can pod... I don't know. I guess Mirror Entity is another thing that can start the pod line to go up to 4 to Felidar and then up to 5 for Kiki Jiki. That is something. Yeah, Destiny Spinner and the Green Elf, definitely, for sure. Yeah, I guess we do want to have things, multiple things at, I don't know, I think maybe having things at 3 is more important than having things at 4, though. Because currently it's just the Felidar Guardian that's doing it, like, not to say that that's going to be all of them, but... Allosaurus Shepherd... And then the green enchantment fella is Destiny Spinner. Those will both be really valuable for this deck for sure. We definitely also want the silence effects. Because we're in red, we have access to the flip one, which is really sweet. I don't remember what that card is called, though. Ugh, does anyone know what that red creature on the front and its double white silence on the back? Jessica's Will. Yeah, Jessica's Will probably is very good. Yeah, we get our thing on the battlefield and then we can start making a lot of mana with that. That makes a lot of sense. Ah, Flame Scroll Celebrant. Right, thank you. Oh, not Flame Scroll. Flame. Also want that 3 mana, what the fuck is that card called? Ranger Captain of Eos. Ranger Captain being another thing that can tutor up a Walking Ballista is really sweet. Like, we can, like, tutor up Ranger Captain earlier on in our line with Rocco. And that is another 3-drop to enact our pod line into Felidar Sovereign too, which is also really sweet. Small Scroll sounds like a slam band. I would listen to Small Scroll. Seven's Wreck, I don't know if I'm super interested in this deck. It gets back like a Ranger Captain, which is honestly pretty sweet. Silence we want for sure. Trying to think what other necessary pieces are there for this creature suite. We definitely want just some more creatures that make mana. Did I add the Orcish Lumberjack here? These are not sorted by CMC, which is fucking me up. Okay. So we've got an alright suite for our Recruiter of the Guard too. Or not Recruiter, the Ranger Captain I mean at 1 CMC. I'm wondering if we want to just run Sarah Ascendant for generic value, but I don't think so because we're not getting any value off of that life gain. Oh yeah, Gamble we definitely want. Manglehorn being a 3-drop is actually a really good idea. Kodo, I think that the Snoop piles probably are too much because we're already working with like 2 sort of different combos in the deck. Honestly, 3. And they're all really tutorable, so like, just I think like we probably realistically maybe end up dropping the pod line because it's 3 slots and we like maybe don't need them because we can go infinite in a couple of different ways and we have a couple of different outlets to get rid of the infinite mana. So it would just be like, I don't know, it would be a real fringy line to go for, but I don't know, being able to pod your commander through it is definitely a thing. It's very, in that sense, it is very compact and efficient. Ephemerate is protection and dockside. Oh, Ephemerate I think I actually like a lot. You could definitely make a focused Snoop version of the list. I'm not particularly interested in Snoop lines, again, just because of the amount of spaces that they take up. Yeah, I think I might be interested in Ephemerate, though, because that is a good protection spell. And Ephemerating and Dockside is fantastic. In that same sense of things that I just generally want, Swords to Plowshares, Deflecting Swat, Veil of Summer. I might almost want Orum's Chant, but I feel like between the Celebrant and Silence and the 2 other effects, it's probably not necessary. Tameo Safekeeping, Heroic Intervention. Oh, shoot. You know what? This might be a really good Docent the Falling Leaf deck. If you're unfamiliar with Docent, these players can play spells only during their own turns. So this is something that we can like tutor up with either our commander or any of the other various like tutor into play effects. And you know, it's just another Grand Abolisher. We can just only play it on our turn, but it being only green mana is also pretty sweet, meaning we could like really easily cast it with Gaia's Cradle and stuff. I think this might be like a really good Docent. Docent protects everyone. So it's not a thing that you can like play on turn 3 and then pass the turn for sure. Like it's not that kind of card at all. Hey, what's up, Black Girl Mage? Good to see you in here, bud. Everyone, if you don't follow Lexi on Twitch, definitely go give her a follow. She's great. Good to see you in here. Appreciate you coming to hang out with us. So yeah, like Docent, like you can't think of Docent the same way that you're thinking of playing Grand Abolisher, where you play Grand Abolisher on turn 2 and then it's just like attacker / hatebear or whatever. But Docent, we have a like creature tutor in the command zone, so being able to automatically tutor this out is like pretty sweet. And we can also get it off of like a Green Sun Zenith is a reason that makes it a little bit more enticing to put in the list. Lexi, we are doing good. We're chatting a lot of shit right now. Honestly, like, I haven't even gotten into checking any of the other things that I pulled up because chat is just like hitting me with a bunch of really good ideas. It's a really good deck building right now. I feel like this is going to be a tight list by the time we're getting done with it. So if we did, I think we probably want Green Sun Zenith. Currently, it tutors up Teamer Sabretooth as like a thing that helps us win the game. It could also potentially tutor up this Docent if that ends up being the direction that we want to go with it. It can tutor up an Allosaur Shepherd, which is like not nothing, but it's not super great. We could be on Dryad Arbor to add to our Gaia's Cradle count. That seems a little bit stretched. Court of Calling, I think, is a definite. Yeah, Court of Calling is probably more so where we want to be than the Green Sun Zenith. Do probably want to add some just general Stax pieces to slow the game down a little bit. So like just anything a little bit asymmetrical. Draneth. We've already got the Ranger Captain, which is really good assurance. Throw an Aven Mind Sensor in there. Like the games that I've played lately, I have noticed that any singular Stax piece is the root of the entire table for the entire game. Like, it's wild how much people can't deal with it. Thalia is interesting. Seedborn Muse, I think we don't currently have a super good way to use. Possibly, but down the line, if we think of some really good engine that we can be running with it, but we don't have any sort of like Thrasios or Kinnan engine to be running with it at the moment. The Stranglehold, I think I'm probably not super interested in. I think that is just like it costs too much in our curve. I think we really want to have things that we can get down before we start trying to play our commander out. So like Blind Obedience, I think, is really nice for this list. Root Maze we can't do. Trying to think of some other like good green Stax pieces. Gaddock Teague would really fuck our day up. Yeah, Deafening Silence is something that we can do because all of our stuff is creature-based. I don't know if that's going to cause some unnecessary friction, depending on the way that we end up fleshing out how this combo looks, but it's worth thinking about for sure, so I'll just put it in the pile to be to come back to it later. Because we do get to just play and bounce our commander a bunch of times and combo out with that, so we don't need to cast more than one creature spell. There's obviously going to be situations where we want to like play out pretty much Birthing Pond is the main friction in the the Deafening Silence camp, or Cloudstone Curio, either one of those. Like if we play those out, it means we can no longer protect our combo with any of our spells, but it might not make a difference because we do have the Grand Abolisher effects, so Runic, I think, is not doing enough for us. I don't think that we're trying to like grind that long because we just don't have enough engines to like make it worth it for us to have that sort of like long con grind engine. Like I think Toski is more where we want to be in that train of thought of just getting some extra card draw in there with the various creatures that we have that can attack. Oh, Alan, what's up? I texted you before. I didn't see if you texted me back. Oh, okay. Hold on, Alan. I'm just gonna DM you on Discord. All right, so I texted Alan before I started this. I was like, oh, why don't I just ask Alan if he wants to hang out, because he's probably at home right now. And then I totally just started stream and forgot all about looking back at my phone to see what he said. So hold on just a second. I'm going to get Alan in here.
Hey, buddy, can you hear me?
Oh, what's up, buddy?
Hey.
You're coming through real quiet for me.
Oh, okay. Let's. It could be. Is that any better? I don't know.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn my music down and just everyone in chat, let me know if that sounds okay. Hold on, I need to actually turn you up in the
headphones or whatever.
No, turn you up for the Twitch audience as well. All right, I think I should be able to hear you now.
Awesome. Yeah, everybody. Sater says it sounds good. What's up, guys? Birthing pod lines, huh? You're building this like a pod line?
I think so. Like, it's a really easy thing to do because the commander costs 3 mana. So, like, you can 3 mana and then go 4 mana into Felidar Guardian, 5 mana into Kiki Jiki and start doing that. So, like,
3 mana. So that's 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana, like one turn after another. We're talking here, or
hold on. Is it helpful for me to share my screen, or are you just watching on Twitch?
I got my eye on the Twitch screen, so
All
it's
right.
it'll have a little delay, but I'm not too mad about it.
Okay, so like we're going from 3 and then 4 is the Felidar Guardian, and what it blinks a thing, so it blinks the birthing pod. We use the birthing pod to kill the Felidar Guardian. We go up to 5, and that gets Karmic Guide. Karmic Guide reanimates the Felidar Guardian that we just killed to the birthing pod. Guardian comes back in and blinks the pod, and then we can go get Kiki with the Guardian activation. We make a Kiki copy of Karmic Guide to get Guardian back, and then we can start making infinite Felidar Guardians.
And we're getting birthing pod via the commander? No, right? It's just the commander?
No. So the commander can only get creatures. We can pay X and go get a creature onto the battlefield. But birthing pod, since we're already like in Naya and we have access to Enlightened Tutor anyway, it's just like a free slot.
There's a ton of different ways to get birthing pod, like in those colors. You can can get it with your white stuff,
and actually, we one thing that we were talking about too is Cloudstone Curio with Goblin Engineer, and Goblin Engineer can put that in the graveyard as well, the birthing pods. So
okay,
can only reanimate things. So actually, maybe we want the other
Goblin Welder.
Goblin Welder, yeah.
Goblin Welder's a good one. Is Goblin Welder the one that lets you blow up other people's artifacts too?
Yeah, you can do it to other people too. So yeah, like if someone has like an artifact-based Stax piece or something like that, I don't know if someone had like a null rod or something like that, we could potentially.
Or there's like what is it? The one that stops ETB effects is obviously gonna fuck you up. You gotta get rid of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's all sorts of good stuff. No, I'm super unfamiliar. Pod lines, I'm always just like somebody resolves it, and I'm like, all right, cool, good to go. Go for it. Like like you saw,
I had to say like a million words over and over again. I missed a Black Girl Mage asking in the chat what the pod line was. So Lexi, if that made sense to you, let me know. If it doesn't make sense, I can definitely go a little slower and repeat it. People in chat suggesting Academy Rector into Food Chain. I'm really not a fan of Food Chain, and the way that this is starting to look as it's getting fleshed out right now, I feel like the Food Chain is an unnecessary additional win con to put in here. Like, I think Birthing Pod maybe takes the place of the Food Chain, and there's something to be said for like maybe Food Chain takes less slots to put in here, like Academy Rector for Food Chain. I guess we still need like a sack outlet, right?
Yeah. I would say another thing to look at is, what is that? The 4 mana enchantment. The Pattern of Rebirth is also probably worth looking at. I know that's like a big enabler, especially in a lot of Rector Fit lines, that sort of stuff. Pattern of Rebirth really lets you kind of pop off.
Yeah, people had suggested that as well, but it's another thing that it requires just like another sack outlet. So like,
yep.
I don't know, all those things seem like slightly less efficient to me than just like either the pod lines that only require your commander or like the Teamer Sabertooth lines that only require your commander.
Yep. And so is that your main, is the Temur Sabertooth, and you're just kind of trying to make more mana, and then once you've got the Sabertooth and the mana, you can bounce the commander and shit your whole deck out?
Yeah, so once we can make infinite mana by bouncing Dockside Extortionist over and over again, we can either go get Mirror Entity to make things extremely large, or we can use Recruiter of the Guard to get Walking Ballista to ping people out. That one I might scrap that one because it might be unnecessary.
Yeah, I know you like to go super narrow with your lines. You're not trying to clutter it up with like a bunch of different win cons in here. That's kind of something I've seen you do over and over again, is you go down to like one, maybe two, like one win con and a backup win con usually. Is that correct?
Yeah, basically. That's I mean, I would rather lose games for not having a niche card than I would for like losing games because I have a niche card in my hand, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because you like draw into some win con that's like a third of the line or whatever it is.
Yeah, I just think you run into the scenarios where like you're gonna lose more because I have Walking Ballista in my hand that doesn't do anything than like winning a game because I don't know, because I can't get there with Mirror Entity for some reason. I think I'm actually literally talking myself out of it right now. Like, they're both just the same mana dump. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know why I would need the Walking Ballista, really.
I mean, Ballista is... It's not an irrelevant card. If it's not part of
stuff, yeah,
it kills stuff, right? So like I've been playing it a lot in that stupid Dalsum deck and in Marin as well, and I find more often than not, like just dropping it for 2 or 3, like people freak out when you pay 6 mana and then you like, all right, Walking Ballista on 3, and everybody's like, oh, like that's not what I was expecting for 6 mana, but I still hate it. Like people, it does, like if you have an outlet for it, it's worth running just because it is another added piece of removal, and it's removal that you can keep around on the field and kind of threaten with it. You know, you can kind of put people. Yeah,
that's true. It does get that like that I can't play things value.
And I mean, worst case scenario, you're playing draw go, you're putting extra tokens on it, you know, so that's cool. And then my favorite thing about it is it functions as that situational Stax removal. So when somebody does have that hate bear that's holding you back, but you don't want to just blow it up and then be like, all right, good, you know, everybody else is out of prison too now. You play it and then you wait until you can like go off by blowing up the Stax piece, you know. So it lets you kind of sit around with it and say and wait till exactly the right time, you know.
We could essentially be doing the same thing with like Swords to Plowshares and Lightning Bolt, though. I think for the most part.
Yep.
I don't know. It's something I'm sorry. I also forgot that I'm using a different overlay than I'm normally using, so I don't have my Twitch alert sounds in my headphones. So I'm sorry. Black Girl Mage and Lonely Grill, I missed your follow notifications, but thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate y'all being in here and hanging out with us. I think I'm closer to not liking this Walking Ballista than I am to liking it. Hate bears like Decatli Honor Guard. Decatli Honor Guard is going to, I think, shut off our own lines, though, does it? I think this is an ETB. Yeah, so it shuts off like all of our lines, honestly, between that and Sabertooth, so I don't think that we can run those. A Braid, I think, is definitely where we want to be in terms of flexible.
Yep, the Braid's a really good one.
Yeah, we definitely want that.
Is it worth putting in the new Naya Charm? The new...
What does it do? I don't remember.
Isn't that one like bonkers? One of them was like
I think it's the Bant one that's like super OP. Does anyone remember what the Naya Charm is called? Yeah, we definitely want at least whatever the non-swattable Red Blast effect is. I think it is Red Blast, but I don't remember.
I'm looking it up now. Sorry if my keyboard's coming through.
Nah, it's alright. You're fine. Counters a blue spell being cast. Okay, so yeah, Red Blast I definitely like. Need to kill Honor Guard. Okay, yeah. Cabretti Charm. That makes sense. That's what this fucking commander is called, so.
What does it
Cabretti
do?
Charm, what you do? It deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample, or it creates 2 citizen tokens. So, not quite where we want to be at 3 mana, yeah. Rather just have a Lightning Bolt. We definitely are requiring Gaia's Cradle for a very mana-intensive line here. I think this probably needs more dorks too, because I'm only at just like literally at Lanewar and Bloom Tender because I was like, I don't know, I'll have those.
Put in the on 3 with the commander on 3 also, the Feybarrow Elder doesn't look bad at all.
Oh, you're very, very correct about that. I forgot. Feybarrow is excellent. Definitely want some more ones that jump the line here. I don't think I put the Birds of Paradise in.
And I do like the Avacyn's Pilgrim as well.
Avacyn's Pilgrim. That's what I was thinking. I was like trying to think if there's like a ignoble hierarch for this wedge, but there is not.
Yeah. Jeez, if they start making other wedge hierarchs, everybody's gonna lose their fucking minds.
And the commander is an elf, so Priest of Titania.
Oh yeah, that's not so bad because you've got the Shepherd in there, the Pilgrim, the Llanowar Elf. So yeah, it's something, and everybody's dropping them shits all the time.
Yeah, I might have to drop Avacyn's Pilgrim in favor of like Fyndhorn Elves or something like that, and it might not end up being able to make the cut at all, but...
Oh, because the Pilgrim's not an elf, right? Yeah.
The Pilgrim is a human, yeah. Sertar once again asking for Worldly Eladamri's Calling Gamble. Yeah, alright. Those are good. You're going to ask me for Mana Crypt too? I'm going to put that one in.
Very, very fair. Is it, at this point, with the X on the commander, is it worth running shit like Mana Vault?
Yes, Mana Vault, definitely. I was thinking that earlier before I started. Those any of those ritual effects are just absolute hot fire.
Yeah. And would you be running the spell-based ritual effects as well, or is that getting a little too nutty? Oh, because if you're running shit like Deafening Silence, like I guess you can do a ritual into a creature, which is cool, but do you have other Stax effects like the Deafening? Are you running other shit like as
no sort of like rule? I have some asymmetrical stuff like I have Aven Mind Sensor and Draneth so far.
But not the the fucking annoying one, the land's coming to play tapped one. Captain Dickhead, I can't remember its name.
Captain Dickhead. Archon of Emeria?
Yeah, Emeria, yeah.
No, that one's a bridge too far. Valor's reached someone asking about in the chat. Or no, they were not. They were asking about Archon of Emeria.
Oh, Valor's Reach slaps so hard. It's such a brutal card. It's so fucking brutal. I've run that so many times, and just anytime it's been dropped against me or I've landed it, it just hurts, you know?
Yeah. It's a fucking awesome card. I love it. I think Green Sun Zenith, not where we want to be. Death Calling out the Finale of Devastation. Definitely want one of those. Eladamri's Call, probably also worth it.
Yeah. Eladamri's Call is clutch for sure. I mean, so you're not doing a ton of like draw stuff. So what else are you looking at for card draw? Is like your boy?
Yeah, I definitely need some more advantage.
Ristic Buddy gonna make the cut?
Oh yeah, for sure. This is why I need to do this with other people. When I made the Rafine deck, someone in my Discord was like, is there a reason you're not running Mox Diamond? I was like, you bet your ass there is not.
Like, yeah, because I fucking forgot it, alright?
Yeah, because I brewed this at 2 in the morning. I wasn't thinking too hard about it.
Yeah, Moloch's very correct. Viridian Revel is intensive. 2 green pips is really sucks, but the long-term value on that, like, if it stops people from cracking treasures, it's still doing work. Viridian Revel is, I cannot stress enough how crazy that card is.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I feel like there are maybe things that we could be tapping out for 3 mana that would be more beneficial at that point in the curve, but I don't know. I need to... I'll put it in the pile at least.
Or like throw it in considering or something, you know, like it's worth at least sitting in there. What are we at for cards so far?
We got 54 in the main deck, but I'm like not committed to at least 10 of them.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I really like Viridian Revel because like it sits there and you're like, oh, okay, but like by the time it's drawn you like even 2 cards, you're doing all right, and it'll be later game, but it'll make like if it's stop making people consider tapping their lands instead of treasures, like it's so like even that is a strong ability.
I think I might almost want to be on Oran Frostfang though, just because it is a creature and can count towards Gaia's Cradle counts.
Oh, I love Frostfang. 5 mana is brutal, and Frostfang is a huge target when you drop it, but it just draws cards. Like, it's crazy how much, because
Yeah.
it gives everything death touch. So nobody's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna block with my Esper Sentinel. Like,
And it's not like a Seaborn Muse or something, right? Like, I feel like people are less inclined to kill or like try to counter that or something than like, I don't know, something more high profile.
Like, I though what I see happening to Frostfang a lot is it gets Gilded Draked. Like, people would be like, I want that instead of you. But because you've got almost 30 creatures in here, Frostfang is a great choice. It turns mid to late game, it turns dorks into value pieces. Like, it's really, really good. It's just a 5 mana that you have to worry about. But I mean, the other part of that is if you're running like a pile of tutors, like you've got an absolute stack of tutors in there, and specifically creature tutors, if you find yourself just like, okay, like I have to settle in for the long game, I have to not push right now and go for a really mid-range kind of vibe, putting out a Frostfang or Trotsky or something like that really does kind of let you lean into that and just go, okay, yeah, I'm going to draw 2-3 cards a turn and just let this ride, you know? And in Naya as well, you're drawing into a lot of really good instant speed stuff, a lot of good answers as well. So having that extra card draw is clutch a lot of the time. I'd consider Sylvan Library.
Oh yeah, Sylvan Library shoe-in. Definitely need that. I'm gonna get rid of this ballista. I don't want to look at that anymore. What kind of sorceries are there in this color pie? I'm so unused to playing this color pie.
You know what? Matter of fact, let me bust out Atla Polani, because I've got a lot of really good.
That was Naya. The first thing I was doing was like looking at the DDB list in Naya, but they're all creature-based Stax lists, which is like not quite where I want to be.
One to think about is maybe shared summons.
That's interesting. I think I might rather be on that like Vivian Planeswalker.
Oh, yep.
Just because it's a similar amount of mana.
Ooh, crop rotation.
Crop rot, definitely, yeah. Sanctum Prelate is kind of interesting. There's like nothing that I need to cast at 2 CMC.
Ooh, you could put Tybalt's Trickery in here, baby!
Oh, yeah, Trickery for sure. Yeah. I actually really like Tybalt's Trickery.
Yeah, Chaos Warp is like okay. Beast Within is okay. Like, those are both decent. 3 mana is heavy, though.
Yeah, I'm not super into those.
Heroic Intervention might be worth tossing in. Because if you're like in the middle of a line and somebody's like, well, I blow up a piece of it. No, you fucking don't.
Yeah, I'm less keen on that one because I think it's more in that realm of like the Walking Ballista of like, I think I'm going to lose more games because I have this wonky card in my hand that I don't need rather than some gas.
Yeah.
We do have like a fair amount of silence effects, and some of them are easily tutorable.
It's super situational, but Fork is real cool.
Fork, oh man. Well, Fork, I think no dual caster mage, definitely. I actually really like dual caster. Do I just add in Twin Flame as just like free cheese? Because actually that's like a ramp spell with some of our things. Like obviously Dockside, but like that can also be a ramp spell with like Fabro Elder or Priestess Titania potentially. Another ETB off of Feldar Guardian or Karmic Guide. That's really interesting actually.
Are you running MDFCs in there? Do you have any?
I would be probably inclined to run the red flip land Shatter Skull Smashing. That is again free cheese.
I'm looking at a Wheel of Misfortune in here.
Oh, I don't know.
Wheels are a little hairy.
Yeah, because we're kind of cost intensive. We're definitely slower. Panharmonicon Classic Side Part calling out. Yeah, Panharmonicon actually was something I was thinking about earlier with the Goblin Engineer and Welder effects. So that might be Panharmonicon. When Moxfield is like a tiny bit slow and it doesn't bring up anything, and I have the instant panic of like, I don't think I've ever known how to spell anything. For anyone who doesn't know what Panharmonicon is, creature, artifact or creature, ETB. You get to double it.
So does that double the commander?
Yeah, because the commander's an ETB.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool that it's not on cast, that it's an ETB. I mean, it sucks because it can get turned off easier.
Oh, Spirit of the Labyrinth starter calling out in the chat. That's actually a pretty good idea because I don't need to draw cards.
Oh my god, Spirit of the Labyrinth is a brutal card.
It's really fucking brutal. I hate that card so much. I hate playing cards I hate, but I might.
Yeah, I mean, Spirit of the Labyrinth is just, it'll slow everybody down, you know, and especially when you're on a slow plan, like it.
Yeah, and like outside of Toski or the potential Oran, like I don't give a shit.
Yep. Death.
Fucking so much yesterday. Kid Calamity already got the Treasonous Ogre in there. I really like any ritual effect that we can get for this deck. I mean, honestly, maybe we want like Infernal Plunge or something. Like that again is running up against the Deafening Silence, but maybe we cut the Deafening Silence so we can run a couple of those ritual effects.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good ones in red. In green, you've got dorks and lands and stuff. There's not, I mean, the stupid, like, the Spirit Guides.
Oh, Spirit Guides. Oh, that's probably a good idea, because either of those will help us make the mana for our commander as well. Help us smooth out mulligans a little bit. I guess I'm probably more inclined to run Elvish.
Yep.
Because we probably don't need both.
You can put in red rituals very easily. Like, it just...
Yeah, and just like being able to help cast multiple turn 1 dorks. I think I'm probably falling away from the want to run Docent. I really love Docent, but... Seething Song? Seething Song is a potentially really good one. Do you like the sorcery green-white, sack a creature to tutor a creature? Altar of Bone. Altar of Bone, because it puts it in hand, I think is just asking a little bit too much, especially since it asks us to sacrifice a creature. Oh, Metamorphosis. What the fuck does this card do? I just saw this on...
so crazy.
I just saw it on Twitter for the very first time my whole goddamn life the other day. I totally forgot it.
It's
Metamorphosis. Sack a creature
ritual.
to add an amount of mana equal to its casting cost, +1 to your mana pool. This mana may be one color. Use it only to cast creatures. That's actually really fucking hot.
Yeah, but I mean, the art is gnarly.
Hot. It's so gnarly. Original from Arabian Nights, I guess.
My only gripe with it is a sorcery, but it's a really cool ritual.
But I mean, I don't know. I would be pretty willing to run like Infernal Plunge, I think, in this list. Like, I think this could be pretty good. Most of our things would be like Infernal Plunges that would be sacrificing, maybe. I don't know. I guess we'd be like more inclined to sacrifice a Land of Wells or an Orcish Lumberjack or something. Maybe Infernal Plunge is just closer to where we want to be with that. I
just love it because it's... I mean, Metamorphosis is funny because
it's super cool. And it makes any color, which is pretty hot.
Yep. And it's got the oh shit factor. Like, when you drop it, people will be like, what? A what?
Oh my god. Starter. Alright, Starter got the deck name. We're calling it Farm to Table.
Oh, nice. Got there.
Perfect. Do I really want to run Infernal Plunge? I don't know. I guess probably, actually. It seems kind of good. Oh, man. That's kind of making me think, like... Do we kind of want to try to play this like a turbo Creature Storm deck? Like, actually have Metamorphosis and Infernal Plunge and, like, other red ritual effects? It's an interesting idea. A new card got spoiled, you might want it. Guess I'll bring up Mythic Spoiler. It's the only place I know where people get spoilers from anymore, but that's where I was looking like 4 years ago. Let's see, newest spoilers. What do you got for me? Everyone, if you don't want to see spoilers, look away, look away. Oh, I guess I was about to start reading it though, so I don't know how much it helps. Is it one of these? Workshop War Chief, ETB, gain 3 life. I don't think it's this one. Jewel Thief, ETB, create a treasure token. I don't think it's any of these. Yeah, don't need Don't need Perforos for that loop, because we'll definitely already have it if we get Cloudstone. Professional Facebreaker, oh, that's a really good idea. That's the kind of advantage that I really want. I would definitely, that's in over Boran, I think, because that's also going to help our pod lines.
Facebreaker is so crazy.
So nutty. I love this fucking card.
It's like the last, like, it's just so crazy. For 3 mana, too.
Yeah.
It seems so out of control for 3 mana.
Oh,
sure.
Kid Calamity asks, where's the monkey? That's a good question. It's not in this list yet. That's why you're here.
Yep.
Ragavan, Nimble Pileferer. And that actually rounds out our suite of 1-drops pretty nicely. I think we probably need, like... Probably got to drop the Priest of Titania, add in, like, a Finhorn Elves, I'm thinking. What does this main deck look like? It's, like... kind of almost there. I think Viridian Revel probably pretty choppy. Let's move that to the sideboard. I think I'm probably feeling a little choppy on Deafening Silence at this point. I don't know. Maybe it's just easy enough for us to play around, though, that I don't really care. Because, like, that's a really good turn 1 play.
What's
that or, like, Blind Obedience.
I was going to say, what's Blind Obedience doing in there? You just trying to, like, slow people down a little, or?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, like, you know, not lose to Turbo decks on turn 2.
Okay.
Because, like, this is definitely not going to be the fastest deck. We're going to need time to set up and stuff. And just having other... Like, we can't play a Root Maze, but being able to play that to slow down opposing treasure players can be really valuable.
The Blind Obedience hits artifacts, huh?
Yeah, artifacts and creatures.
Yeah,
so yeah, I feel like having
yeah.
a good couple of turn 1 plays like that, or like the Spirit of the Labyrinth and shit like that, I think those will be really valuable for this deck to stay afloat.
And then comes everybody's favorite part, the mana base. Everybody loves that part.
Someone tried to teach me how to add packages, and it was immediately like, oh, I don't know.
Oh, packages are great. It just jams in just all the lands you need. Don't forget your the land that lets you do stuff at instant speed. The
Oh, Emergent Zone? That's a good idea.
I think Emergent Zone's hot in here for sure.
Yeah.
I think you definitely want to be able to be like, surprise!
Oh, and I guess just like value Underworld Breach, there's pretty much no reason not to. Oh my god, you know what's super funny? We can farm Jeweled Lotus from our graveyard with Underworld Breach to win games. That's really funny.
Oh, just play it a couple times and then...
Yeah, just like keep using it as a free ritual from the graveyard with Underworld Breach to close it out.
If you can drop it 3 times. Satyr says Winding Canyon's better than Emergent Zone.
Isn't Winding Canyons only creatures? You don't have to sacrifice it, but I think it's a little narrower. Pay 2 mana, tap it. You can cast creatures with instant speed, I believe.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting, because I guess we are going to just want to cast instant speed creatures for the most part. That's interesting. It costs a lot of mana to do.
Yes. Yeah, you need three
Yeah.
mana rounds.
It makes me think, though, about that 3 mana Vivian that lets you cast creatures at instant speed. That's kind of sweet.
That Vivian is really cool.
I like it a lot. I think that pushes us more into the territory of, like, trying to profit off of rule law effects, which I don't necessarily think behooves us to do in this deck. We do have Crop Rot Legacy. Yiva? We could be running Yiva. Oh, Eternal Witness is very good. Eternal Witness we definitely need. Another 3-drop for our pod lines. Man, we're so stacked on the pod lines that I think Dark Saber suggested it earlier, that new 6-mana Vivian. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, yeah. The new one. People are really hot on that one. That's really funny.
It's really cool, you know, it's compact. Does the thing. What do we really need in terms of graveyard recursion? Basically nothing. Like, I'd probably also add a Noxious Revival, actually, just because it's, like, all-around fantastic and can stop other people from winning with Breach. But I don't think that we really particularly need any recursion. Well, I guess, actually, we need, like, Karmic Guide to be available to us, so, like, we wouldn't be able to run Rest in Peace.
Yep.
Oh, Death Magic's got it. It's Vivian something something. Yeah. Ground Seal, I think same thing with the Blind Obedience. I think shuts off our Karmic Guideline. I don't remember exactly how it reads, though. Cards and graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities. Yeah, so we wouldn't be able to use that one. Sanctifier and Vec. No, that exiles red cards. We can't do that with Kiki lines either. Vivian Monsters Advocate. No, not that one. It's one from New Capenna, I think. It's basically a birthing pod. Scoop Shout now for the Defense of the Heart. I don't think the Defense of the Heart is where we want to be. I don't know. It could be. It's kind of slow.
Yeah, it's slow. It eats removal.
No, I meant like the deck is slow, but like it is slow, definitely. But like the deck is kind of slow, so I don't know. Maybe that's not bad.
And I mean, you can just with the lines you have, you can very easily just Defense of the Heart into like Emil Dockside, you know, or like there's a couple others. I mean, are there? You've got Kiki Jiki in there.
2 mana combos would be Dockside, Sabertooth, and Felidar Kiki. Yeah.
Yep. There you go. So
we do have like an abundance of ritual effects between like the Orcish Lumberjack and the Mana Vault, I guess.
And with how heavy, I mean, people are running like a medium amount of creature decks these days. But
I mean, like even like Tymna Crom decks, you know, they're trying to play both Tymna and Crom, and that'll set it off.
It needs 3. The opponent's
3.
3.
Oh
yeah.
Shit.
But
I Defense of the Heart in many years.
Yeah, it's a weird one for sure. I think it's in the casual build of my Dalsum deck. Just because like it will eat removal very easily. I like it though. I think it's really, when you have 2 card win cons, when you have 2 creature win cons, it's great. And I mean, if you're running, it's a cheaper and crazier way to run. I think I saw Tooth and Nail in there. Is that correct?
Or no Tooth and Nail.
Okay, I saw Cord. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's got that funky worm art now. I feel like Defense would be occupying the slot that like Birthing Pod is occupying for us right now with just like a 1 slot cheese factor, and I think that just Birthing Pod is a lot better.
Yep.
I'm always disincentivized to run more conditional things like that. Devoted Druid combos, I don't think we need, because it only makes the 1 color of mana, so like it doesn't enable us to necessarily win with our commander. And actually, I guess none of the combos with the Devoted Druid are like both creature things, so I think for those reasons I'm not inclined to like the Devoted Druid a whole lot.
If you were still on Ballista, Devoted Druid is worth considering a little more.
For what reason?
Just the mana. It's like a dump for Ballista.
Oh, okay, because you only need the 1 mana for the Ballista. I get that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you can just dump the whole color into it or whatever.
Survival of the Fittest? That's probably... Yeah, Survival of the Fittest is another 1 card win con, I think. You can do that with Kiki lines, I think. Yeah, if we just have an excessive amount of mana, we dump all the things in the graveyard, we get Karmic Guide last, and then we can go off with it. Yeah, good thinking. This is what I need to look at. The Blood Pod list is what I need to look at, because this is more in line with what we're going to be trying to work with.
Survival, once you have Survival in there, you do, Legacy is totally right, you do need to slot Solitude and Endurance both.
Solitude I'm a little more iffy on. Endurance for sure, though. Solitude is really strong, though.
Hitting the Thoracle player with Endurance off of Survival at instant speed is absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah, and screwing over the
the Breach as well.
The Breach lines. It's also a 3-drop, so we can pot it away. If only there was an instant speed where you can evoke it for free and then get rid of it, that would be really sweet. Force of Vigor, I might be interested in it. I'm a lot less interested in Force of Vigor than I have been in the past, just because the 2-for-1 is pretty extreme, especially when like the most valuable targets are things, or like singular targets like Breach, and then you just get some like, I don't know, some random free value off of it.
And you're not running, it's in 3 colors. Force of Vigor becomes much more difficult to land as well. Yeah.
I mean, we've got Boseiju, we got Nature's Claim. I could be convinced to run Like there are other instant speed disenchant effects, but I can't think of what they are. I guess we also have a braid to hit artifacts.
I mean, depending on how rude you want to get, there's always Druid of Purification.
People have been talking about that card a lot. Yeah, Pod is only sorcery speed. Yeah, I was just living in fairy tale land there. Volcadian, thank you very much for the follow.
Druid of Purification is 4 mana.
It kills like something for everyone or something. I don't remember what it does.
It's everybody votes or everybody chooses a thing and it explodes, but it can't be your stuff. So you choose and then all the other players choose, and it's one-sided, so nobody's blowing up your stuff, and it doesn't target.
Yeah, it's 4 mana though. It's just, I can't get behind that.
Like at 4 mana, for me, it's like it becomes part of the pod lines and stuff. Like if you need something to bring out, if you're like, oh shit, I need to like value out an answer or something, you know, like if you had a way to shit it out for free at instant speed, it becomes much better. At like with it was in Marin for a little while, and being able to just like drop it at end step, be like Marin trigger, oh here it comes, everybody's sad, and it blows up like a bunch of mana crypts, you know. But
I think it's probably time to turn attention to this ramp package because it is fucking whack at the moment. I think a Narcomancer needs to be a dork.
A Narcomancer.
Goblin and Narcomancer makes green and red spells cost 1 less.
I don't know. How many? Does it cost 2 or 3 mana?
It costs red and a green, so it's like kind of difficult to cast, but it does count towards like Fabro Elder count, which is not nothing.
I like that better than a dork because it has the potential to like save you 2 mana, whereas a dork saves you 1.
Yeah, I guess actually the Anarchomancer shaves 1 off of Rocco every time, so turns it into like a 12 mana line instead of a 14 mana line or something.
And it like it say you want to
Tinderwall
play...
is a very good idea.
Oh, Tinderwall's real good.
Yeah, alright. You're convincing me. Let's slap a Narcomancer back in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it in for a dork for sure. I mean the consideration is like with priest, you know, like, oh, does a dork do you better? But I think it doesn't. I think the Anarchomancer definitely is netting you more mana over the long game.
Yeah,
and
I think
like,
scrapping priest is probably fine.
Being able to drop like Toski for 3 feels so good.
Yeah, that's true. Shaving off that extra point for that, and like things like Imperial Recruiter, 1 mana Dockside Extortionist, all really change the math on things. It's quite true. All right, so maybe this priest becomes another dork. I don't want to be running Jiraga Tree Speaker. Is there another green dork I'm not thinking of?
Mystic.
Elvish Mystic, thank you.
Arbor Elf. Arbor Elf's a little wonky though, and especially in 3 mana. I like I like the snow one, but you're not doing any snow shit in this deck. So
Boreal Druid?
Yeah, Boreal Druid's awesome.
It makes colorless mana. It's the year of our Lord 2022. It makes snow mana. I get it.
It makes colorless snow mana. Don't fucking disrespect.
Oh, Capital Fleet is very correct with the Grim Monolith is also very helpful for us.
Ooh.
Maybe we need that like more than we need like the 3rd 1 mana dork. I don't know. The creature package at 36, we're definitely cutting some things out of here for sure. I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but...
Feybarrow starts looking cut-worthy, but that's part of the ramp package as well.
Yeah, I feel like Feybarrow is just valuable enough because it's a potential 3 mana.
Yep. Pilgrim. Yep. Death Magic's right.
Pilgrim? Which Pilgrim?
Avacyn's Pilgrim.
Avacyn's Pilgrim, cut that one. Yeah, I could see that. Green mana becoming more valuable for our survival of the fittest lines and things like that. White mana fairly invaluable for this deck as of this moment, seems like.
Where's what's the non-land count at?
75. I don't think we have any lands yet. Maybe we've got like 2 or 3. We've got like both Seiju and yeah, we've got just like 3 utility lands.
So we gotta cut a bunch of shit, huh?
Yeah, and I think there's more things I want to consider for the instance package as well at the moment. Tall Girl Joe, what's up, bud? Good to see you in here. Good morning to you. I don't. Are there any like super important instance I should be thinking about? Actually, let's go back to looking at this Metapod list. That is what I wanted to see. So, all right, so they're on. I figured out what it's called. Vivian of the Hunt. Definitely good to know. I think that probably makes the cut in this list.
I have been running Teferi's Protection recently, and it has won me multiple games. That
is very funny. We're definitely very weak to Psych Rifts, and like we don't have Stax on board to really worry about. So like I don't know. The only real worry is just that like someone else wins before we face back in.
Yep.
Definitely like a lower opportunity cost, I think, than some other decks I've seen people suggest it for. Yeah, looks like we're not really forgetting about too much. Splinter Twin, that's interesting. I don't think Splinter Twin is where I want to be in this deck, though. Oh, Carpet of Flowers, that's a good idea.
Well, I'm super cold on Carpet recently.
I'm coming back up on it. I was off it for a little while, but I started testing it out in more decks again, and just even like the 1 or 2 mana.
Yeah.
Like 2 mana is like honestly kind of a fairy tale land at this point. But the extra 1 mana is actually like I found to be very valuable.
I've just had it show up as a dead card too many times and like just been like, oh fuck this card. You know, like I'm so much higher on like stuff like Viridian Revel where like people are probably running tokens than like compost color-based shit, you know? Like sure, if it's keeping people off islands, but there's so many different ways to make blue mana, especially with the prevalence of treasures right now, that I'm super cold on Carpet.
Legacy suggesting Arbor Elf if we're running Yavi Mild Cradle of Growth for like untapping Gaia's Cradle. That's actually some pretty sweet tech.
Yeah,
I might be interested in that over like Elvish Mystic. Although, no, I have to cut the Llanowar Elves because of that fucking dope new Elvish Mystic art from Magali.
Oh, yeah, that thing's cool. There's a big fucking skull on it.
It's so rad. I don't want to get it just for that because I think the other cards are, like, not things that I need at all. I think one of them is, like, Death Shadow, but, like, it's so cool. Yeah. All right, chat, I get it. You might have written the card name 100 times. I'm looking at 2 screens. I'm talking to Alan and y'all at the same time. It's not easy being me, okay?
Hyrax Tower Scout. Oh no.
Treasonous Ogre. I don't remember saying that was in the list, but that's an interesting option actually, because that is a really good way to shit out a fuckload of mana.
Definitely. You ramp your whole ass off with that one. I love it.
Ken replaced Remand in Krark and Sakashima with Treasonous Ogre recently, which seems like the most like wild cut I've ever heard in my life. But I started playtesting with it, and it's actually like super dope.
And Krark and Sakashima?
Jeez. I know, yeah. It's so awesome. It's another like thing that helps you bridge the gap, like the Tavern Scoundrel, you know, just help generate that extra mana before you can get all of your engines in line.
Yeah, you like get, oh cool, like, you know, instead of being like, okay, how am I gonna make this 1 mana, you're like, cool, I have 14 mana.
Yeah, exactly, because like it really helps those times when you like only have Krark on the battlefield and it's like, oh, I need to like farm some mana with a Strike It Rich, but I might not be able to do it. But Treasonous Ogre got your back.
Yeah, Treasonous Ogre definitely has got your back for a price.
Sylvan Safekeeper is an interesting idea. I'm not sure how necessary it is given the amount of silence effects that we're able to run because we're in white.
You have silence in there?
Yeah, we got silence. Not on Orum's Chant. We got silence, Grand Abolisher, Ranger Captain, the red-white flip fella, Flame Scroll Celebrant. And yeah, like Orum's Chant is another possibility, but I think it's probably a little bit too narrow. I don't know. Maybe we don't need much more in the instance package. I would like to be slightly more interactive than this. Like maybe Ephemerate. I mean, we're going to need to cut things just for the sake of cutting things. So let's just cut Ephemerate because that's not very specifically doing something for us. We have 36 creatures though, so maybe I got to focus some attention here. Maybe Ragavan, not cutting it. It is a turn 1 play. But, I don't know. Not super duper relevant. I could live in a world without a Ragavan in this list. Let's move that to the sideboard at least. Run both REB and Pyro. I'm not super keen on running Pyro, just because it's deflecting swattable, and blue is like more and more less essential at the table. Like similar conversation to the Carpet of Flowers, just like REB is becoming a little bit less generally effective than it once was a few months ago. Chop Toski, that's what I was thinking too. Toski sort of, I don't know, not super necessary to what we're doing. We're at 34 creatures, that's more of a human amount. Maybe we don't need the mirror entity. I don't know, I think I still kind of like the mirror entity, honestly. Allosaurus Shepherd keeps our commander from being countered, so that's definitely good enough. Maybe we don't need, like, Welder. Maybe we're off of Welder and Panharmonicon, and we're just Goblin Engineer and Cloudstone Curio.
I don't like Panharmonicon.
Yeah, Panharmonicon definitely asking a lot of our mana supply, and Goblin Welder pretty much only there to support that specifically, so yeah, those are easy cuts, I think.
I mean, it does give you so much more value on the things you're doing. Like, the fact that it doubles, like, your whole pod line is pretty hot, but the 4 mana sink is so huge to, like, possibly eat shit to, you know?
Yeah, again, it's like folds to all, just so much common removal that everyone needs to run for Breach anyway.
Yeah, so people are going to be like, nope, you don't get to keep that. Like, I'll explode that, or I'll counter that. Like, it's a non-creature spell. It just gets fucking countered or exploded. You know?
Yeah.
Like, Manglehorned. Like...
Shane, I can agree with you. SWAT, slightly awkward in this list. Yeah, you could be very right about that. Maybe that's just not worth running. In that case, we're like more heavily just relying on silence effects, but yeah, I don't know that there's a situation where we're realistically like using this SWAT defensively because we cast our commander and now we're passing the turn. That seems pretty niche. All right, I can be convinced of this. Final Fortune. Final Fortune is interesting. I like that card a lot, but I don't think it's necessarily where we need to be. I think, realistically, we can probably set up wins all in one go. We're at 71 in the main board, though, and one of them is an MDFC, so, like, we can be at 30 lands with this as the 99. Oh, no, I guess we've already got 3 lands. So, actually, we've got 3 more, main deck slots. I think this is the space where I'd like to flesh out this like instant and sorcery section, because it seems lacking. What is Blood Pot on? Yeah, they're on Black Tutors. Meltdown. Meltdown is really interesting.
Ooh, Meltdown is crazy.
Yeah. Kind of like that a lot. Marith, what are you rocking with? Oh, the Sanctum Prelate was something that I thought about earlier and then forgot about.
Wait, why is Abrupt Decay in...
It's not. We were just looking at the Metapod deck.
I was like, what is going on?
Oh, someone suggested Jeska's Will earlier, and I totally forgot about that. Let's put Jeska's Will in for sure. Yeah, I think I could maybe be convinced that Meltdown is good for us. We're gonna lose like a Mox Diamond, Mana Crit Chromox, Soul Ring to it, but like, it's not the worst. Yeah. I'll throw that in there for shits and gigs. And then maybe that last slot is the 6 mana Vivian. I could be convinced of that as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. If you're like leaning so heavy on pod, I think that's a great choice.
except I guess that's not what it's called. What are you called? It is called the Vivian on the Hunt.
It's called 6-mana Vivian.
That's birthing pod Vivian.
Vivian of the pod.
So we've got 4 lands already. All right, let's try out this package here. Browse all packages. Naya cEDH lands. And then how do I add it?
Should just be do
I have to do that like from my deck list?
I think you do it from the deck list. Yeah, up at the top there's like an add packages.
Okay. So Naya cEDH lands is the name of it.
On the more, you hit the more thing on the next to buy deck. Scroll over a little ways.
Over here? More.
It's kind of like in the middle, like to the left of the bar. There you go. Yeah, add package. It should be there. No? Oh, I guess I'm big wrong.
No, you can like add this to a collection. This is like where the option for adding a package is, I think. On top, click more, copy the text. Now do that for the package. I don't understand.
I should know this.
I know, I'm really putting you on the spot right now, huh? Gotta get Harry in here.
Where did I
on the packet page, okay.
Oh, there you go. It's the lightning bolt.
Hmm?
The little lightning bolt there.
Yeah, that's what I was on.
Yeah, just add packages, right? And then you just...
Like, I'm able to search for them from here, but then, now that I'm here, on the package screen, copy the text. Oh, I can, like, yeah. Copy the text for these. Right, I actually do know how to do that. I was just fooling myself into thinking it would be like some sort of button.
I think there is a button that lets you just do it. It's just like add that right in.
Maybe.
I feel like I'm going crazy. I swear it's there.
Is there no like bulk edit option anymore?
I think you have to subscribe to that package. There you go. That's what it is. There you go. You browse, you go, there should be an option to subscribe to the package somewhere. I don't know where the fuck that option is. And then once you are, yeah, there's a subscribe button all the way on the left, and then it'll show up, and when you go to add packages, it'll show up as one of the packages you're subscribed to, and then you just, boop, just goes right in.
Nice. Well, this was the tutorial for me. Aha!
And then it's like, cool, you're at 125 cards.
Yeah, I definitely don't think I need these basics. It's very funny that this is built like a tainted pact mana base. It is okay, this temple garden, not the temple of whatever, the Scry temple.
Oh my god, can you imagine? It'd be fucking great.
So yeah, what are things in this package that I don't need? Oh, Cavern of Souls, that's a good thing I wouldn't have thought of. Okay. Forbidden Orchard. Let's drop the Vista. I don't think I need a snow-covered mountain. I can't imagine a world in where I'm going to need a snow-covered mountain. I guess, Blood Moon is something I didn't really think about up until this point, but that is like a possibility of something that could be in this list.
Why would you want Blood Moon? You've got like all non-basics.
Well, no, like, I mean, this is the package that I just loaded in. I don't have to run this package, you know?
I guess.
I don't think I want to do that, though. Do I want to tarnish Citadel? I don't know, I guess so. It's fine. What about... What's that? There's this, Thran Quarry? Adds any color as long as you control a creature? Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely worth it.
That's an interesting one.
I know that Deco runs that in Nagila.
Makes sense.
Who plays Blood Moon? Nobody.
No.
Legacy says add Yavimaya. That is correct.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Beseiju and shit.
Yeah, Beseiju we already got. Iganjo...
Iganjo's great. Iganjo's awesome.
Yeah, it only costs a very minimal amount of mana.
Like the worst case scenario, you're dropping it as a white mana source. Like, oh no.
Just go ahead and drop these basics. Those seem quite unnecessary. And then we're at 101, so I drop probably the Tarnished Citadel over Forbidden Orchard. Actually, I don't know. I don't like Forbidden Orchard feeding into Tymna decks and farm decks that are very popular, so maybe just cut that instead.
Oh yeah, do you have 2 Cradles?
2 Cradles?
Satyrs right there. If you added the package in and you already had a Cradle in there, it'll have 2 now. Nope, you got 1. You're good.
No, yeah, I guess. All right. Well, nice. I think this is pretty much like first version of the 99. I would be like comfortable to say. Drop the link for it in the chat if anyone wants to take a look at it.
Cool. So join me over on my stream in just a second, where I build a 100% anti this deck.
Hell yeah!
So I can play against it tonight.
Oh yeah, we're playing later. I definitely won't have this. I probably won't ever build this in paper. I just like couldn't stop thinking about this deck, so I wanted to like try to see what it would look like. But yeah, that looks pretty cool, honestly. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me, Alan.
My pleasure.
Sadar, you want to test it? All right, yeah, let's take a look at some test ends and see what it feels like. I have no idea how this deck is supposed to play. This seems like a fairly keepable opener. It like does quite a few things. Recruiter of the Guard gets something 2 or less, so that can go and get our dual caster, and this could like... It's short on red mana, but this is like a really strong hand, I think. Draw a card. Oh, that's red mana, so that's good. I don't know what I would Chrome Mox here. Like, I don't think I would Chrome Mox anything in this situation, because like need Tinderwall. Maybe we don't need Allosaurus Shepherd here. Like, Allosaurus Shepherd can protect the Veil of Summer, but
that's already too, like, they're kind of doing the same thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like if I'm trying to just get to dual caster here, I think that one's unnecessary. What the fuck are Naya lands called? What's a good one? Do I go Taiga first? How does this work? Probably Taiga.
You have no, because you've got that recruiter in there, and you've got.
I definitely need the red man. I don't know if it's like Tiger or Plateau.
I'd get Plateau at this point because you've got Chrome Mox on green, and you've got
that makes sense.
Tinderwall's making red,
and I guess we have the potential to like drawing into Grand Abolisher. Oh
yeah,
Eldritch Evolution. That's pretty sweet. I don't think that particularly does anything at this junction, though. Although, in this situation, we can just Rocco for the Dockside Extortionist. Like, we make 5 mana here.
What is the 5 mana getting you?
Like, we spend Naya and the double Tinderwall mana on Rocco, we go get Dockside Extortionist, like, depending on how much mana that made.
And then what? Eldritch Evolution Rocco into 4-drop?
Well, I mean, you can go a number of different ways with it, depending on how much mana it made. So, like, if you got Dockside Extortionist, how much mana would we need to win right now with what's in our hand? We would have to 3 for Recruiter.
Oh. Yeah, and then you Eldritch Evolution Rocco for the Sabretooth, and you're fucking good money.
Yeah, I'm not sure which of those lines requires more or less mana. If it made, I don't know, like 5 mana, if we didn't have any of this shit, 5 mana, and we have 3, would only be enough to bounce it to hand, so we'd need to make a minimum of 7 treasures to be able to win the game right now. No, that's not true. Dockside comes in and makes 5, we have Twin Flame in our hand.
And when you Eldritch your boy there, you have 2 floating, so you're good.
So yeah, Twin Flame on the Dockside, and that would generate the extra mana that we would need to then Eldritch Evolution into the Teamer Sabretooth, make infinite mana, and Rocco it out.
Cool, nice. Turn 2 in off the first hand. First
Easy
7.
peasy. No,
Yeah.
no questions asked.
cEDH solved. We're good.
I know. I think we probably even have the mana to throw a fucking Veil of Summer in there, honestly.
Yup, to protect it.
Nice.
Shit.
Easy claps. Turn 2 wins.
Yep.
Everyone get on Twitter and let them know. Let them know the new turn
Yep.
2 meta.
Solved. cEDH solved. We're good.
Easy
Wrap it
easy
up.
peasy.
Stick a fork in it.